Alright, so here is the new project. This is a Honda ATC 250ES. This is the dog's licky bits of the trike world. This is the king of the four-stroke quads. It is the top spec. It is the absolute everything that you can get. It's got these huge tyres mounted front and rear. We have got shaft drive as opposed to chain drive that a lot of them came with. You've got the 250cc absolute bulletproof engine with electric start, as well as a kickstart on this side, which is, as you can see, seized along with the engine. Engine is seized. You've got a luggage box in the back here to put whatever you want in there. It's meant to have one on the front. It's missing one. It's also missing the headlight on the front. We're also missing the grip that goes here normally, but it's not too bad. We've got most of the parts, got a couple little bits down here as well. This has been sitting outside for about 18 years and it shows. It is quite rusty. The exhaust is seen very much better days. The whole it doesn't roll, as you can see. I don't know whether that's because it's stuck in gear or because the rear diff's locked up or because the engine's seized. I don't know what it is, but yeah, project, but we'll get it sorted. It's definitely the worst and the biggest job I've got yet, but I think this has got some awesome potential. Let's get on with it. So damage wise, there's cracks to the front panel there and here, and a bit at the back here. We've got a bit of a shallow dent in the tank, however I think we can pop that out. Obviously it's quite rusty, but I think we're going to sand it down and just paint over it to keep it patina. Fuel tank is yeah, quite rusty. Obviously that part of the fairings is cracked off, however we have got it, and it's a fairly clean crack all the way across, so I think we can do something with a plastic welder, get that back together. Get the seat off. As you can see, we're just presented with more rust. First things first, I want to get a mat underneath it and I want to get it lifted up so we can actually get a better look at it. Let's do that. First thing we need to address is this. That's not a good colour of oil. It's literally grey. It's yeah, and there's a lot of it. It's very full. I'm worrying that's water. So let's get this engine drained of oil first, or whatever you can call this. The drain bolt is inside that hole right there. So we're just going to crack him out, get all that oil drained out. Oh. Yeah, something tells me this isn't very good. Right, so after that terrible disappointment, that's really not good. We're going to go ahead and I'm just going to take this little cover here off. I want to see what the engine's like on the inside. So all we got to do is just pull all the bolts out of the casing, and I'm using a T-handled socket instead of an impact driver, just because an impact driver is a bit too aggressive for this sort of thing, and you'll probably snap a load of bolts. And we've got to get the foot peg out of the way just so we can get the casing off. So I'm not going to lie, I've not been filled with confidence since pulling this thing apart. This is quite sad, really. Look at this. All that just rubbish just sitting on that flywheel. I think what I need to do, I need to see if the engine's free, see if we can get it to turn over. So one thing I haven't told you about, I've had engine oil sitting in the piston for about the past 3-4 days now. And I forgot to turn my camera on, but I've just tried to have a little go turning it over, and look, the engine's turning over, like really well, weirdly well. Which makes me think they might not be too far gone. Now we know this, it is literally a game changer, so let's go ahead with an engine degreaser, clean it all out, both sides of the engine casing that we can get to, put it back together, see if she runs. Oh, and real quick, we just need to WD-40 this Kickstarter and just give it a bit of wiggle in to free it up, because it's rusted solid. Oh yeah, I really quickly want to say thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed to this channel recently. We are growing like mad. We are not far from 1,000 subscribers now. So if you like what you see here, smash that subscribe button. It's free. Why wouldn't you? So obviously it's a bit gungy in here, however, that just scrapes off, so that's nothing to worry about. That's just covered in a bit of oily rubbish. It's not rusty though. Like, there's not really any rust on it. That's a centrifugal clutch system here, which, I mean, would you look at, I mean, that turns lovely and smooth, there's nothing wrong with that. Look at that. Give everything a really good clean out, get all the rubbish we possibly can out of it, and then we need to do a couple oil flushes. I don't see there being anything wrong with it. The chain, there's no rust on the cam chain at the back, you can see. The chain tensioners look fine, the bearings aren't rusty. Honestly, I think we might be alright. I can't believe I'm saying this after what that oil looked like, but we might be alright. Under some newfound confidence, we're going to give everything a clean off, get it back together, and then we can service the carb, get it running. Now, I'm not going to lie, for about 10 minutes of work, considering what that thing looked like before, that's not even that bad. There's not, it doesn't even look like there's much signs of there being rust on the inside. It's not that bad at all. Just rinsing off this side of the engine, then we're ready to put it all back together. Now we're just going around and tightening all the bolts up with the impact driver first, just doing them up gently, not all the way, and then we'll tighten them with the T-bar. Now this is probably very controversial, but I'm going to clean the old oil filter out and put it back in because there is still that much little rubbish and gunky oil in there. There's no point in putting a good oil filter in it and ruining it, so we'll put a nice one in it after we've done a few flushes. For this, at least, I like to put a little bit of grease on the spring because it just holds it in place whilst you fit the oil filter, and also the grease will just come to dissolve in all the oil and all that, and it'll be fine. Right, so before we go any further, I think we need to get this carb off because that's not looking too good. And we'll just pull the bowl off it, give it a quick little service and see what we can do with that. To remove the carb, I believe it's just a rubber boot, so we'll get that Jubilee clip up there, loosen that off. Should be good to just pull it off. Something tells me that's not quite right. We'll be addressing that one later on. Right, now, I think first things first, this thing needs a good clean. It is absolutely disgusting. Let's get that thing cleaned up really nice. Right, it's not perfect, but that is a crap ton better than it was before. Let's start taking it apart. Right, so my problem is there's no meat for me with my screwdriver to grip onto here. They have been rounded out badly. So you're going to get a Dremel, you're going to cut a slit in all of them like a flathead, and we can stick a Phillips in it and get them out nice and easy. Let's do that. Stars, let's get rid of all them jets. Now we've got all the jets out, we need to remove the float and then the float needle. Now all the jets are removed and also the float. We are just going to give everything a blast with W4, give it a scrub, clean it, put it all back together. go and make sure that none of the jets are blocked, we're literally just going to squirt WD-40 through the centre of the jets, and you should see it coming out the end like this. Well, all clean in there. Well, let's put it back together, I guess. Not really a fat lot to see in here either, so we'll just rinse out WD-40 and put it back together, I guess. Got to admit, this is probably one of the coolest throttle slide designs I've ever seen. It's incredibly over-engineered, but it's awesome. Now just got to refit all the jets. The next day we are back out working on a trike. We have got our battery on charge, and we're going to get this thing running today. So priority is, well, we've got to get the car back on, and we just got to fill the engine up with oil. As far as I'm aware, that is it. So let's get on with it. Something we are still yet to do is hook up the battery and see if it's got spark. Normally the first thing that I do on anything, so let's do it. I think we've got batteries. Let's hook one up and see if we get the spark. Oh. Two ways of checking for spark. One of them, you get your mate to hold the end of the spark plug like that. You kick it over. You'll know pretty soon whether it's got spark or not. The more ethical way of doing it is by getting the spark plug and touching it on any metal contact that's like quite a decent earth. So we'll touch on the cylinder head. That should have a good earth on it. And now you're looking right for that tip, and you're looking for a half decent spark, which you should be getting a blue colour. Right, so it had no spark. I've been fiddling around a bit off camera, pulling apart all the wiring, going through, testing it. I've had to clean all the connectors. All the connectors are covered in like corrosion. And I found out that I've realised these two bits down here weren't plugged in. Don't know what they do. I presume they're either a neutral light or an oil sensor light. And all of a sudden, she's alive. And also, look at the spark plug down there. We've got spark, like really good spark. Oh my god, this thing might actually run. Right, we need to get the spark plug back in the hole, and then we need to fill up with oil, and then we need to get a bit of fuel in the carb. I think this thing might actually run. So now what we've got to do, we've just got to top up the oil. I'm not going to put much in it straight away. I want to just put a little bit, just to make sure it isn't going to leak out of anywhere, and then we'll fill her up. Well, we've got to get up to that little, ideally we want to get up to the top, but I mean, as long as in that range, we're good. So let's do that. Now, because we're doing an oil flush, I'm not going to put any decent stuff in, so I've just got this, which I bought bulk cheap, just for doing oil flushes. I don't recommend you do this necessarily, but oil's oil at the end of the day. We're not doing anything stupid. We're just going to let it warm up a little bit, drain it all out, just to flush all the water and rubbish out of it, and then we'll put decent stuff in it after you've done a couple of these oil flushes. Oh, crap. Right, for now, let's just give it a little top up. You know what? That's perfect. Oh my, could not get more perfect than that, just under the top line. So So the observant ones of you may be wondering what on earth this thing is. Well, this is my rudimentary fuel system. I'm not quite ready to hook that fuel tank up yet. I need to flush it out first. But for now, we'll just put fuel at the top of this. Got a pipe running down there into the carb. That should be all good. So, in theory, we are good to see if this thing's going to run. We've got oil, we've got spark plug in there, so we should have good compression. And now we've got fuel. So let's put some fuel in there. And, well, might as well see what she does. Let's do it. Right, here we go. First start attempt. We don't, unfortunately, have a choke because the choke cable is snapped. So we're just going to have to hope for the best without a choke. It's in neutral. It shouldn't, in theory, run away from us. Switch it on and, well, there's not much left to do, is there? Come on, old girl, you can do it. Right, let's see. Wonder if it's got any compression or not. Definitely got compression, not much, I don't know. No way. No way. That's about fire, I think. So I'm a bit stumped with this thing. So we've had a look at it. It's turning over nicely. It's got good compression. Carb sorted, and it had spark, but then it lost spark. It was sparking really well for a bit, and then it just stopped. Not really sure what that is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get online. I'm going to order a few bits. I'm going to order a new coil pack, a new stator, new starter motor because that's absolutely buggered, and probably a new wiring harness because the wiring harness looks like it's been butchered quite a lot, and also get a battery on order, and that'll be for the next video. So we'll see what we can do with that. Don't worry, this isn't being forgotten about. This is just being put on the back burner for a little bit. We've got plenty of other projects going on, and unfortunately parts are really hard to get for these, so it's going to have to wait a little bit till we can get parts sourced. But in the meantime, we've got plenty of other things coming to the channel. So make sure you smash that subscribe button so you don't miss when the second part of this build comes out. And yeah.